The detective work continues on my 1987 Porsche 944 Turbo. In the previous episode, I installed a new Storch MAF kit. The car fired and ran. Here goes nothing. But then I did some more testing and things got ugly. Real ugly.
That escalated quickly.
So stick around and find out what happened, where am I at right now, and where do I go from here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It just keeps getting worse and worse with my 944 Turbo. And as you can see, this 944 Turbo has no turbo. In the previous episode, I installed the Storch MAF kit on this car. I started it up, it idled exactly the way it did with the AFM in there, which is a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is it did its job. It was able to basically fool the DME into thinking that there is an AFM there. The bad thing is it didn't fix any of my issues. Low engine vacuum, and lean warm start. So through the advice of both viewers and folks on Car Pokes, especially you, Tom, a big thanks for everything that you have been helping me with, I decided to take a look at the crankcase ventilation system. So what I did was I disconnected it from the J-boot, plugged off both lines to see if that would make any difference.
You didn't, did you?
I started up the car and almost immediately it ran like this.
You did.
So I immediately came out and I unplugged the line to the AOS because what I basically did was pressurize the crankcase. I then immediately pulled the plug out of the AOS line and unfortunately the car didn't recover. In fact, then I started getting light blue smoke coming out of the tailpipe. And that got me thinking, maybe there is something wrong with the turbo itself. One of the problems that I've been experiencing with both the old motor and the new motor was I seem to be getting a lot of oil within the charge pipe, especially where it exits the turbo prior to going into the intercooler. Now, it's very common to have some oil in there, but typically that just means you might have a little bit of a residue within the pipes. When I remove the charge pipe from this car, even after it's just been idling, the oil will literally drip out. So that, combined with blue smoke coming out of the tailpipe, at very least, the turbo needs to be looked at. So earlier this week, I removed the turbo, packaged it up, and sent it off to Evergreen Turbo to have them take it apart and inspect it. And what Charlie at Evergreen found was actually kind of surprising to me. So first, he did find that the bearings were actually in pretty good shape. There was some scarring on there, but he said there's a good chance that when you combine that with a brand new motor, any material that comes out during the break-in period is going to get into the oil and is going to go through the bearings, and they are under very tight tolerances on those turbos. So I guess I'm lucky that those are not too damaged. He's just going to polish them back up and put them back in the turbo. But what he did find was that oil had been leaking out both on the cold side and the hot side. And he said the only way that that happens is if there is an issue with the oil system itself, most namely the drain system. And these cars use a gravity drain for the oil system. It actually drains into the motor mount arm that attaches to the motor mount itself. And there's two channels within this arm. One goes to a vent line that goes to the air oil separator, and the other goes down to a drain line that attaches to the oil pan. So I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of this, and I'm gonna try to rule out both the motor and the turbo drain system. So the first thing I'm going to do is a leak down test. Now, I've already done a compression test, and the numbers actually came back pretty good. 155, 155, 149, and 151. Those are pretty good numbers, but that doesn't mean that there isn't any blow-by. So the true test to see if there's anything escaping past those rings or into the head is through a leak down test. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. The second thing I'm going to do is drain the oil, and then I am going to remove the oil drain line from this motor mount arm down to the oil pan. And what I want to do is then blow air through the drain line and make sure that there is no obstructions whatsoever within this drain system. And if there is, then I might have found my issue. If not, then I'm going to have to keep searching. And the first step is a leak down test.
Whoa.
Before I go any further, check this out. Every single one of the spark plugs has oil on it. And at first that made me think, did the head gasket go already? But I went and took a look at the intake manifold, and remember what I said earlier about oil in the turbo. Check that out. Look at the oil coming out of the runners. There's not as much just pouring out of the others, but look at that. All right, so here's where we're gonna play a little game. I want you all to comment in the comment section below what you think the issue was and why the car was running so poorly after I plugged the AOS system. Remember, it was running fine, I guess you could say, when I first installed the MAF, and then when I installed that plug on that AOS line, it started running like absolute garbage, almost like the engine was choking, like it wasn't getting good compression or something. But now that we see the oil on the spark plugs and the oil coming out of the intake manifold, there's only one place that that can come from, and that's the turbo. So in my opinion, I think the turbo is the issue, and I think that it has been blowing oil into the cylinders for quite some time. I've come this far, so time to continue with the leak down test. So of course I forgot to hit record when I tested cylinder 3, which was the last cylinder I did, but I assure you it was just as good as the other 3. I'm gonna go back and look at the footage, but from what I remember, each one was 5% or less leak down, which means that this is a strong, healthy engine. I think that this engine is good to go, which unfortunately means I still have to do some digging and figure out what this issue is. So the next step is I am going to remove the oil drain line from underneath the motor mount arm that goes to the oil pan. And before I do that, I'm going to drain the oil, which I wanted to do anyway. So I'm gonna get going on changing the oil, then I will get the car up in the air, get that oil drain line out, and then I'm gonna blow some air through the drain line on the top of the motor mount arm and make sure that there's nothing impeding the drain or the vent for the turbo. In my honest opinion, I think the damage was done on the old short block. There was so much blow by, causing so much additional pressure in the crankcase. I believe that it kept the turbo from draining properly and started forcing oil out of the seals. And I think at that point the damage was done. So it was basically carryover damage from the old motor to the new one, but I'm already here. I'm going to take off that drain line and see if there's an issue. I've got the oil drained. I didn't put that on camera. If you guys want to see how I change the oil on this car, I'll link a video below where I change the oil as well as the oil pressure sending unit. And you can see I have the oil filter out. And now you can get a little bit of a better look at the oil thermostat cap. Unfortunately, it looks as though I'm going to need to remove this coolant line from the water pump. It's going to be a pain, but I already have a lot of the coolant drained anyway, so it'll be a little bit of a mess, but I think it's worth it for the peace of mind to know that that's basically the last link of what has not been replaced on this motor. So let's get underneath and I'll show you a better view of the oil drain line for the turbo. So here is where it drains into the oil pan. And you can see that is a pretty big nut there. In fact, it is a 32 millimeter. So you're gonna need a 32 millimeter wrench to get this off. And if you can see up there, they are two 10 millimeter bolts, and I might have an easier time getting to those from the top side. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those off, and then once this is all out, I'll blow some air through the drain line, make sure there's no blockage there, and then I'll get it all put back together. I have new crush washers and an O-ring to put in, so I'll get going on this and let's see what it looks like. All right, so here is the oil drain line. It wasn't too awful difficult to take out. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I can't see if there's anything blocking anything in there, but I'm gonna blow some air through it and see, but it's kind of a mess. I should have cleaned this up when I put the motor back together. So I'm gonna do that now. And then I'm also going to blow some air through the top of the motor mount arm and see if anything comes out of either the vent line or underneath. All right, it might not look a lot different, but I have the line back in. I cleaned it up as good as I could. Not only did I blow air through all of the lines and through that motor mount arm, but I actually ran my borescope through it and it was 100% clear. So there are no blockages whatsoever that I could see. So I'm pretty confident there's nothing on this end that was impeding the flow of oil out of the turbo. So now let's go back topside and I want to show you guys the bottom of the AOS because I have a question for all of you. So I've removed the heat shield and you can't see it, but it's under here. The support arm on the rear for the intake manifold so I could get a better look at the bottom seal of the AOS. And I don't know if you can see right there, but you can actually see the backside of the O-ring. And remember, this is a brand new AOS, brand new O-rings, and you can see there I have the bottom bolt bolted and it is flush with the block. So my question for all of you, especially you 944 gurus, is that normal? Because the top side, you cannot see the O-ring. And I remember when I installed this, the top kind of popped into place, but the bottom did not. So I ran my borescope through the top of the AOS and down in. I did not see any obstructions there. I did not see anything that could look like a leak, but like I said, leave a comment below. Is that what it's supposed to look like? All right, all, so I was able to accomplish everything that I wanted to get done today. I was able to do a leak down test as well as remove that turbo oil drain line, look through there and make sure that there were no blockages or anything that would impede the gravity drain from the oil from the turbo itself. So unfortunately, right now I'm on a little bit of a holding pattern. The only thing I have left in the idea box is that oil thermostat. As far as I know, that is still original to this car, which means it has well over 170,000 miles on it, and we just do not know what kind of life these cars lived prior to our ownership. So the only thing I can do is take it out and see if anything is in there, make sure it's functioning correctly, and if not, maybe it's somehow impeding the oil flow, even if it's just a little bit. But that'll come on the next video once the parts arrive. So if you enjoyed this video or it helped you out at all, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give this video a like. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and consider hitting the notification bell so you'll be alerted the next time I release another video on this car so you can follow my progress, whether good or bad. So I appreciate you hanging around this long, and I'll catch you on the next one.